Join me for a long weekend trip to Dubai. This was by far one of my favourite trips away. I hosted podcasts, caught up with my clients, delivered my first paid public speaking event abroad, tried my first Steadfast class and enjoyed the fruits of my labour.
He was an archangel of love. He had good news, good news, good news, good news for those dedicating their lives to
You was doing online coaching, realising a passion. So what must have happened was you realised that you was helping people more with their mindset than like getting in shape, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then you transitioned into higher performance coaching. What was the biggest game changer when you first went into higher performance, when you first got certified? What was like something that you learned where you was like, fucking hell, like I didn't know that before, like
Not telling people what to do in coaching.
yeah.
So this is what I learned through the high performance, what I was doing. When I was on the call, going through the course with these coaches, these experienced coaches, they're asking me questions and I'm like, I'm telling people what to do. This is the difference. I'm telling people what to do. Yeah, like example, let's say I'm your boss, yeah? And I come over to you, you've just made a sales call and it's not gone the way that it should have gone. I'm your boss, I come over to you, yeah? And I say to you, why have you done it that way? You should be doing it this way, yeah? You probably are not going to take what he said. Your back's going to be up the wall. You may not learn from that situation, yeah? Why are you doing it this way? Do it this way. If I come over to you and I said, that call didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. How comes it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go? Why is seeking justification? It's like blame. Why have you done that? How? Is like, how comes you've done that? How do you feel like you can improve? What do you need to do on the next call to improve?
Yeah.
Not why have you done it, do it like this. If my daughter was here sitting with me and she just went like that, smashed something on the floor, if I say, why have you done that, yeah, she might not know of the answer. But if I said, what led you to do what you've just done?
Build up to it.
Yeah, what led you to, how comes you just done that?
Get to the root.
I'm getting to the root of what the way that person thinks.
Got ya, yeah.
You need to understand the way that the person thinks.
Yeah.
If you understand the way that they think and you change their perspective, or you change, or you guide them in a way that they can think the way that in a more positive or beneficial way, that will lead to better actions.
Makes sense.
Sleeping on the job. Sleeping on the job. Been a very productive day so far. Gym in the morning, then I've done my podcast with Tommy. It was Tommy's first podcast, then I was his first guest.
First one in the bag.
We had a good conversation about health, nutrition, fucking my sugar addiction, mindset, some of the things that helped me change my life. And then we just went out and had something to eat. And same thing, probably could have actually done another podcast episode sitting down when we was having food, because we was just going over everything, coaching, personal development, growth, just things that we love to talk about. Just heading back now to the hotel, probably going to chill out for the rest of the day because we've got a busy weekend ahead. My birthday, I'm going fucking wherever. Yeah.
Funny how time goes quick. My guy was on the wing for so long. When he came out, he was homesick. All these niggas do is showboat and they don't own shit. Before I made it, the first time I copped a whole brick. He says he's moving O's of the white. Saudi preps look clean like codeine and Sprite. The pies come over water. So if Labour wins the next election, I just pray they don't tighten up the border. Shit was slow, they try style on a nigga. Now they claim they don't remember, and they're now like the river. Oh well, if my CD don't do well in the charts.
6 o'clock, we're just heading to Kite Beach. We had a nice early night last night to catch up with some sleep. And I was just going to meet Connor and a few of the other boys to go do a 10-kilometre run this morning. And we've got a busy day ahead. I've got a few podcasts with my clients, and then we're out for a meal this evening. But last night, we hired this Jeep, and I've always wanted to get a Jeep. And I'll be honest with you, I could get a Jeep now if I wanted to at home, but I just know it would be an irrelevant outlay every single month. So I thought I'd just drive it here today to manifest what I want in the future. And as I said, I can probably get myself a Jeep now, but there's so many other things that I'd rather invest in at the moment and don't feel like it's the right time. So I know it's in my mind and it's going to be in the next couple of years, but I thought we'd get at this trip just to manifest what's to come.
How are you, man? Good to see you.
I'm man.
Bad itself. How are you, bro?
I'm man. Done that 10K with the boys on Kite Beach, but realised on my plan that I had 2 hours of running to do today. So finished, I come back and now I'm just finishing up another hour on the treadmill. What's funny, you can't win. I was still like, I should have done the hour after they finished. I should have done that, but then it takes away the other element of it as well. I would have been running on my own. Everyone else had a coffee and a drink together, and then they would have left. So I've had to split it in two, but I'll be proud of myself once this is done. As hard as it was, coming back here and doing it, I know I needed to do it. And why I've done it is because I say the process is more important than the goal. The goal's the aiming point, but I know if I'm to smash this 250, sub 250 marathon that I'm working towards, it requires you to give 100% to that process. So just doing an hour today, when I had 2 hours to do, it wasn't gonna be good enough for me. It would have made me doubt the rest of the process. So I give 100% to the process, because I know when that day comes, if I've given it everything, I've just got to show up and do the work. If there's any seed of doubt in my mind, it would have only because I haven't given the process 100%. And this, what I'm doing now, is the commitment that's necessary to achieve any goal. You become the person you want to be along the way. That's what you crave when you're working towards your goals. Becoming the person, becoming disciplined, becoming consistent, becoming resilient. You don't get that through achieving a goal. You get that through committing 100% to the process. And that's what I'm here to do. Just wrapped up them 2 podcasts with my clients Andy and Lee. I've not met them in person, and that's why I come over here, because I've worked with them the last 4 months and I haven't had a chance to meet them in person, and that's why I wanted to come out there just to share their story, share their message, because it's inspiring, both what they've achieved, not just working with me, but their whole life in general, both coming from, one from Glasgow, one from Manchester, wasn't really doing much, so they moved out here and built a great life for themselves. So tune in when they come out. Big up to them too. We're just heading back now. I'm going to meet another one of my clients to sit down and just go over his coaching that we've been doing together, and then we're out this evening for a B meal. Where we going? Balliol. It's actually 8 o'clock, and usually this is bedtime. We was in bed by 8 last night, but you got to do what you got to do. I did try to book this meal in for 6 o'clock, and they weren't having none of it and said nothing's going on at 6 o'clock. So
We get a little bit lively
you
tonight.
got to live a little bit, you know what I mean? I might fucking get home about 11 tonight. See how I feel.
You walk, the way you move, the way you talk, the way you stare, the way you look, the style, the way you smile, the way you smell, the drive me wild. And I can't go without you.
You love me, and you treat me ungratefully.
Another day done. Just on the way back from that meal, actually feeling shattered now. It's 20 to 12, and I'm not gonna lie, fucking the day has caught up with us. But the meal that we just had was lovely. We had a right laugh at the meal, but that's the day done. I ain't got no more in me to give. Good morning. Triple shot black Americano this morning. Fucking hell, I didn't go to bed till about 1 o'clock. But we went out for a meal, we had a proper laugh, had a good meal. But just, mate, I'm just not cut out for these late nights, man. Got back about 1 o'clock. And to be fair, I set my alarm to have a lay night at 6 o'clock, but it didn't go off till 6:30. But the alarm didn't even go off, but I woke up at 6:30, so not too bad. But I'm just not cut out for these late nights. But I felt like I had to do it. I actually got them to book the meal at 6 o'clock. And he didn't book it for 6, he booked it for 8. Because he's like, nothing goes on at 6, mate. Fucking just get yourself out. One late night. And then on the back end of it, we was late getting there. And then when we've got there, they weren't letting Morgan in with shorts. So we had to mess around for ages. And they end up giving him some trousers. So we end up fucking getting in. But mate, the food was lovely, the company was great, and we had a good laugh, so I can't take that away. Sometimes when I'm away, I'm too hard on myself. Like yesterday, like I'm trying to stay on track with my nutrition. I end up eating bare late, which meant that my sleep wasn't that good, and I'm like waking up this morning trying to fucking beat myself up for it. And it's just not needed, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be as good as I can while I'm away, but I can't be 100%, and that's something that I've always got to try and learn, is like stop seeking perfectionism, just seek progression. You know, like I don't drink, I don't do drugs, you know, I haven't even been off track with the buffet. Like I ain't even had sugar this trip, whereas a normal trip like this, I'll be going overboard, I'll be overeating, I'll be, you know, just going completely off track, and I haven't. But my mind's still trying to get me to be perfect, and it's fucking, you can't keep up with that, so it is what it is. So I've got myself up now, I'm going to go for a power walk on the treadmill, and then upcoming today I've got a podcast with Dan Lawrence, my high performance coach, and then we're doing a training session together, and then we might just do some content after that, maybe take the evening off, because tomorrow I've got another busy day where we've got like a shred fast class in the morning, and then I've got my first paid public speaking workshop. So still got a busy day ahead and busy tomorrow, so I feel like just pulling it back a little bit the rest of the day today after I've done this podcast and that, just so I can get myself together for another big day tomorrow. Sure. See you being as relentless with yourself. Do you feel like that enhances who you are as a coach? Like your attitude, your mindset, you're willing to be the best. Does that also help you be a coach, and people want to be around that because that's the way that you are?
I think it's a huge part of my identity. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. Like my standards are so high, and some won't get it, but others will. And I'm not going to apologise about having high standards. You either rise or fall to the level of preparation. If my standards are so high, and then I start lowering those standards, well, that's my new standard. Most recently in the training camp with Connor, like certain people's standards weren't high enough, in my opinion, so we pulled them up, and we had awkward conversations to do so. So yeah, I do live and breathe it, and I try and even in the training camp, try and do the runs with him, try and lead from the front, but that's not fake, it's not calculated, it's just who I am. So yeah, I expect a lot from those around me, and I believe that, yeah, I hopefully give off that energy.
I would say that's one of the things that helps me as well, is the fact that people work with you because they know you're, and that's one of the reasons why I signed up to you and I've signed up with my other high performance coaches. I like to look at someone and say, is this person leading from the front? Like, because I want to be around someone that is actually out there every single day doing themselves. I don't want to work with someone, because I've worked with a coach in the past and we was doing, he was telling me to be disciplined, but then on the weekend he was himself, like he used to do bodybuilding and stuff like that, but then on the weekend he was doing loads of drinking, drugs and that, and then checking me in and sort of like giving me a bollock, and I was kind of like, yeah, I know you're telling me, but I'm not really, like, you're not living it, so it's kind of hard taking that advice. Like when I get advice from you or the other coaches that I've had, because I know that they're out there getting it themselves, and I've got a level of respect for what they've done and what they've achieved. I'm then just wrapped up the podcast with Dan, and I'm not going to lie, it's probably one of my favourite podcasts. We dived into all different things, high performance, the training camp that he done with Conor Ben, what it takes to be a high performer, some of the traits of high performance and the athletes that he's worked with. And you know what? One of the other takeaways is that I'm proud of myself during that podcast. And what I mean by that is I've done loads of podcasts, but most of them have been with my clients, and I've only really done the odd person outside of my clients. But Dan's, you know, I know I've worked with Dan, but he's probably one of the biggest guests that I've had on the podcast. And for me, a lot of it, I don't even plan. I don't prepare. I just go in there with an open mind and just sort of see how I can dive in and give as much value as possible. And I think that I've done actually a fucking great job with it. But I just love talking about high performance. So where we was just diving in, I was probably just asking so many different questions so I can take away some of the key traits of some of these high performing individuals that he's worked with. But all in all, I think that was a great podcast, and it'll be out soon. Make sure you watch it.
So what we're going to do now is slightly different to what we've done before. This is a test. We're going to do 2 jumps, a CMJ, counter movement jump, and a squat jump. I'll explain the difference between the two, and then we'll compare to the likes of Conor Ben and see how we're getting on. This is a great test to then inform our decisions with the programming and training. So we're going to go with the CMJ first, Jack. I'm going to pop this on your right foot. That's it, mate. And all I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to count you down 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you to keep your hands on the hips throughout. Okay,
Yep. That's
that's really key to standardise the test. And the cue is load, explode, absorb. So I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then kill the landing. And it's all in. I want you to give everything on this jump, okay?
So just for,
Do you want a little practice?
Take this run, so
exactly.
How far do I come down?
So we say the athletic position, right? So we don't want to be full squat.
Yep.
We also don't want to be too shallow. So around about there, like a tennis player returning a serve.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you're going to explode.
Bounce up and then absorb it.
And then just kill it on the landing.
Is it like a straight leg, or is it go into it?
Flex into it.
Flex into it.
The key part though is on that first part, we want to use that spring. Yeah. So we don't want to go down and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
We want to go down, and then snap it back up and use that elastic energy.
Up.
We'll explain why we do that in a second. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. I think you're more focused on the land than the actual jump itself.
Yeah.
So now let's go all in on the jump, and let's get like LeBron. I'll count you in again. In 3, 2, 1. There he is, much better. Okay, it's all good. It's a better jump, 32.2. We're going to go again.
And mix them both up.
Okay, let's bring this up, bud. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Best one yet. Well, 31-1. Best one visually. Right. So look, in and around. Yeah, it's all good. So with that, what we've done, without boring you too much, that load, explode, absorb is like an elastic band.
Yeah.
You've come down, we pulled on the band, and then we explode up rapidly. We're now going to do something that to the eye would look very similar, and it is, but we're now going to take out that elastic band, or use of what we call the stretch shortening cycle, which is a spring-like, band-like mechanism. And now this one's called a squat jump.
So you just jump from
So there'll be a second 3, 2, 1 count. Basically exactly the same, all right? So whereas this one was 3, 2, 1, load, explode, absorb, now it's 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and then jumps. You're pausing for 3 in the athletic position, yeah? Okay, so 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, jump. Yeah, 30, okay, nice, 31, 9, we're gonna go again.
I've got better than you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, jump.
Is it the land? What judges it? How high you jump? Well, that's higher, right?
That's better, yeah. One more go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Second one was better, yeah. So what we're looking for here, the numbers are actually pretty standardised. In fact, the best jump you did was the squat jump. But if I'm honest, I think there is a technical component to this that you've never really done loads of these, right?
So what we do with our athletes early on in training camp would be to assess your CMJ, your counter movement jump, the straight up using the band, and then also assess the squat jump, which is again very similar, but we take out the band. If, for example, the squat jump is similar or even higher than the counter movement jump, then training-wise, we're going to be doing a lot more reactive work to improve the efficiency of the stretch shortening cycle, the elastic band. Equally, the other side of that coin, if the CMJ is way up here and the squat jump's down here, then maybe they need to do a bit more force dominant strength work to start closing the gap. So that's the information that it gives us. We also use these jumps at the start of every session as a neuromuscular readiness tool to see how fatigued an athlete is based on their normal scores. So solid work. Jack in Dubai. We've just completed a session. Jack's been on our program for 7 months.
7 months, yeah.
7 months now. We had some pretty lofty goals. When he joined the program, he was really working hard, but maybe not working the smartest at the time. He's got a relentless mindset, and we knew that we needed to follow a data-led approach because Jack was foot on the gas but breaking down. He joined our program with an Achilles issue that stemmed from lots of training, lots of running, and lots of mileage. And you'll see why this is important, why we had to do this data and testing, and why him not being able to run was vitally important, because his goal was actually an ultra marathon, the road to 100 mile. I'm pleased to say that Jack completed that goal most recently around a month ago. He's an absolute savage, but we went through a real process of education, resetting and managing his training loads accordingly. So to go from starting the program, having to do his VO2 max test on the bike because he couldn't run, to then going and nailing an ultra, it's been absolutely incredible. So great work, Jack.
Appreciate it. And one of the biggest contributing factors has been the training that I went through. Because in the past, even when I've done all of my marathons, I kind of pushed weight training aside, pushed all these tests aside, and just went all in. I did achieve some of the goals, but then off the back of that, that's how I become injured. I was injured for about 7-8 months. So since this, it's even showing up on the day doing the ultra marathon, my body was well adjusted to everything that it got put through. Even though I didn't know that all of these trials and stuff were going to be in place, my body still adjusted and adapted when we went there. And safe to say I fucking smashed that, and now we're jumping into the next one, which is the sub 250 that we got coming in another 6-7 months time that now we're working towards.
And it's a testament to Jack, setting a goal, getting clear with it, putting a plan in place, investing in himself to reach that goal, recalibrating, taking a moment, and then saying, well, what am I going to achieve now? Okay, so now we've got a new summit, as he said, sub 250, with a little bit of an aesthetics-based goal in between, and I've got no doubt with his mindset we're going to achieve it.
And I think the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway that anyone can listen to is sometimes put your ego aside. You don't know best, and get help in things that you don't exactly know yourself. 1, the education's key. 2, all of the tools and stuff that you put in place, but then also the accountability, just holding me accountable to keep pushing and progressing, and also giving me guidance on when to step back, because I do like to fucking just hammer it all of the time, but having the right things in place to say, no, it's okay to take a step back, because that's going to contribute to what you said, the overall macro goal rather than the small micro goals in between.
Love it.
Good stuff. Loved it.
Well done. It's good, mate.
Appreciate it. Coming away from that, it just shows that anything is possible when you just put your mind to it. And the biggest thing that's gonna hold someone back from getting where they want to go is their level of thinking. Because the level of their thinking is going to determine the level of their actions. If they're thinking small, they're going to act small. They're not going to take risks. They're not going to go all in. But if they set their sights big, their actions are gonna match, or they should match, the level of thinking that they've got. And I can only relate it to a client who was talking about his business. And I said, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And he said, Jack, I want it to be at 2 million. And I said, why not 10 million? And he questioned himself after that. And then from him changing that level of thinking, do you know what, in the next 5 years I'm gonna go for 10 million, not 2 million. What then happened was all of his actions after that matched that. He started looking for better hires. He started looking after his health. He started showing up more. He started working harder, because he knew that if he wanted to hit that 10 million goal in 5 years, he needed to show up and be a better version of him. And all he done was change his way of thinking. And by changing the way he's thinking, setting his sights higher, he started to act different. And I know if you want to achieve anything in life, it's not just about thinking, but if you set your sights higher, you will then match that. And that's how you're going to get the fucking phenomenal results in your life. Just had to meditate for 20 minutes. As much as I like driving forward pushing forward, pushing. I need to remind myself to take a step back sometimes, because it's like I get anxious, I get fucking overwhelmed, I get stressed, because I put so much pressure on myself. My mind is always consistently running of the next thing to do. What have I got to do next? What have I got to do next? What have I got to do next? I've got this talk to do tomorrow. I need to practice my speech. I need to do my content. I need to do this, and that. And like, listen, this break is a work trip, but I can also allow myself some time to chill. But with how much that goes on in my head, I find it so hard sometimes. And the best thing that's helped me is meditation. So twice a day, I take 20 minutes out and I meditate. And meditate for me is not about sitting there and just not thinking. It's about centering myself. It's about focusing on my breath. Just observe the thoughts that are going on in my mind. Because when you're pushing forward all day, you're just listening to your thoughts and you're just drilling down. I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And then it gets a bit too much. But then when you sit with yourself, you breathe, you observe them thoughts that are trying to control you. It just makes you feel present and at peace. And if you can sit there for 20 minutes, calm yourself down, calm your mind down, you can then start to think a lot clearer. And that's what I've done now. Everything that felt overwhelming and stressful to me because I was tired a minute ago or 20 minutes ago, now feels a lot less stressful, because I'm like, right, what have I got to do? I'll break it down, I'll do one bit at a time. And it just gives me that pause and it gives me that reset that's needed before I go into these next things that I want to do. Trust me, if you're not meditating, start meditating. Arrived at the Salter and Shred Fast fitness event. This is what we're doing in the morning. We're doing an hour Shred Fast class. I've never done it before, but I'm talking at the Salter salon later on, so they've invited us to come do the class in the morning, have a nice ice bath, have something to eat after, and then I've got my first paid public speaking workshop in their salon at 12 o'clock. Let's go. Talk at the salon, and that was one of my favorite ones. One, because I had great energy. Two, they were so engaged. But just most importantly, this is my first paid public speaking event abroad, and I feel like I fucking nailed it. And I'll tell you the maddest thing, I woke up this morning a little bit anxious. I was a bit fucking miserable. I was all moody because of the morning that I just had. But then I got up, I got on with it, and I felt them feelings of fear and like, am I gonna perform? Am I gonna be able to do this? But once I got here, once I started to get in my flow, all of them feelings just completely disappeared. And it just shows you that it doesn't matter if you've got fear, it doesn't matter if you're doubting yourself, it's just a feeling. And if you can go and get through that feeling, you are gonna feel so much better on the other side, and you're gonna feel proud of yourself, and you're gonna grow into the person that you wanna be. And that's exactly what I've done today. All of them feelings arise, but I come and executed anyway. And I tell you what, I feel fucking great now. I feel so proud of myself for what's just gone on then. As I said, it was my first paid public speaking event. And number one, I'm always blown away that someone pays me to go talk about stuff, which I love talking about, but also from who I was as a person. The fact that I used to be super shy, I wouldn't put myself in front of a camera or step out my comfort zone because I never wanted to make a mistake. The fact that I now go and speak in front of people is crazy, but the fact of who I was as a person, and now I'm teaching other people how to grow and improve their life, still fucking blows my mind. And that's why, like, I'm taking it in now, but I'll also reflect on this journey later on. Like, I feel great now, but I need to sit down and let it digest and really just be present with what I've just achieved. Like, I used to just achieve something and just fly on to the next thing without feeling grateful or taking in what I'm doing. But if you don't take in the success that you're having in the moment, you're never going to feel successful. You're never going to feel fulfilled or proud about the things that you're achieving. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, because I tell you, man, that just feels so special doing that. Just sitting here with Morgan on the last night having dinner, and we're reflecting back on how far we've come. Morgan and I was doing the videos together when I first started in the gym and making content from home and stuff like that, and we were just talking about, like, finally this last 8 months it feels like it's come together. But like, before that time, you put in so many hours, you put loads of work in, you spend years without seeing any results, and it's the hardest stage of the journey. Like, you're putting in loads of work, you're putting yourself out there, and you're a newbie and you feel embarrassed by all what you're doing, and you're not getting no results, and that is the hardest point of the process. And that is where a lot of people quit and go and try to do something new or exciting, because it brings a new energy and a new buzz. But when you feel them feelings, you just got to keep chipping away and pushing through, and eventually it will work out. But that start of your journey is the hardest part, because you're not good at what you do, you don't get paid very well, you're doing things and you feel embarrassed doing so. But if you keep chipping away and you get through them hard times, I promise you it will eventually come together. And we're saying that as well, we're reflecting, sitting down on the beach in Dubai, just having dinner, knowing that we started in the gym on a shitty little camera, me doing my exercises. Crazy.
Je pense à toi quand tu penses à moi. Qu'est-ce que tu veux et qu'est-ce que je veux? Je te veux toi comme tu me veux moi. Comment vas-tu?
Wrapped up a 6 kilometre and done some filming to finish up the trip. As I was saying to Morgan yesterday, it's took a lot of hard work and sacrifice to get exactly where we are right now. A lot of hours, a lot of years, but finally we made it and we got here. And I say that to anyone, whoever's chasing their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, it's gonna come with hard work, dedication, sacrifice. You're gonna feel fear, you're gonna doubt yourself, you're probably gonna have to lose friends, you may even get yourself in debt. All of these things are gonna occur on the way towards whatever it is you're chasing, but all of that sacrifice, all of that hard work, all of them fucking down times are worth it. Because on the other side of it, it comes with so much highs, so much fulfillment, so much fucking excitement. And it's not all roses, like there's been a lot of ups and downs, even when you're at them highs, but dedicating your life to becoming the best version of you, creating a dream life, achieving all of your goals is more fulfilling, more rewarding, and is better than anything else out there, because you can't beat the feeling of becoming your best self. Until the next one.